Hey guys, welcome to Chat with KST. It's your girl Kay, and today we're going to be discussing a series of celebrities and the controversies that they have been going through in the media. But before we jump into that, I do want to advise those of you who are watching this on YouTube that unfortunately there won't be any visuals for this because it is a podcast. But stick around for the podcast because the podcast will be lit anyway. Now let's jump into it. First story we have up for the night is Don Lemon. Don Lemon was recently fired from CNN after 17 years. That is sad news. Anyone who is being terminated after 17 years without warning, without being told prior to, it's a blow, right? It's definitely a blow to your spirits, blow to your ego, blow to everything that you've built so much over the past 17 years just for it to be taken away from you. We've all watched Don Lemon when he brings in New Year's and he's drinking and he's on stage and he's like, doing the news and he's doing his thing on New Year's. We've also watched him cover some stories that have been racially triggering, and he stands up for his people. So it's always been a pleasure to watch him on CNN. So I just want to shed light on the positive things that he has done. Now, some people were speculating that the reason why Don Lemon essentially got fired was for an interview that he did. So according to the Jasmine brand, people were speculating that this is the reason why he was fired. Let me play the interview for you guys.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to Black Americans, to say that Black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was
Black
part
people,
of what secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second. So to say that Black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because Black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to
And
happen.
you know how they got it?
War
They got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don,
the NRA did not play a big role.
They trained Black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
This is just historical fact.
It's not historical fact.
The part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today Black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different point of view.
Black and white that Black people don't have in this country, and that Black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate without me regarding you as a Black man, but me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That's what I think here, whatever ethnicity you are explaining to me.
Whatever ethnicity I'm,
what it's like to be Black.
Whatever ethnicity I'm, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
debate on the content of the ideas.
You should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation. Thank you.
Thank you
so much. Thank you, Papa.
We'll talk about China.
Yes, let's talk about China.
Next time you come back.
Oh, thank you. Much to say on declaring independence from China.
Okay,
something you can add
on now, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So people were speculating that this was the interview that had gotten Don Lemon fired. The fact that he was standing up for Black Americans and saying that basically the civil rights didn't grant, like basically all the historical movements that Black people have made still hasn't granted us the rights that we need to exist in America and exist so freely and have the freedom that Black Americans need to live and feel free to live and live in your own skin. And also speaking up for Black America and letting this Indian American know that, even to this day, Black Americans still feel so enslaved, essentially, whether it's not as, and these weren't his words, of course, these are my words. Maybe it's not as bad as it was back then, but there are certain systems still set in place to enslave Black Americans and to still treat us like we are less than. Other people speculate that it's Don Lemon's personality behind the scenes that may have gotten him fired. But again, we're not sure because CNN has not spoken out as to the reason or given him the reason for the firing. I just felt like the firing was a bit, premature and not fair. But let's check in on how Don Lemon is doing, right? Since being fired.
I'm not going to ask how you are. You seem like you're doing okay, but was it truly a surprise?
I'm not making headlines. What a surprise.
Leaving CNN.
I think that my statement speaks for itself. Yeah, it was a surprise, but life goes on. That's behind me, and we'll see what happens in the future. But
you have a game plan for what's next? Are you going after the company? What's going on?
I'm going to spend my summer on the beach and on the boat and with my family and just chill out, and then I'll see what happens next. But I am fortunate enough to be in a position where I can do that, where I have time. I don't have to rush to another job. Even if I want another job, I want to work again, but I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I don't have to worry about those things.
You seem excited for a new chapter.
I am excited for a new chapter because I think, life is short, and you have to, whatever life hands you, you have to bob and weave and do it. I didn't think I would be at work one evening, and I'd get a phone call that my sister had died. But I had to deal with that. I didn't think that, my dad would die young of diabetes. I had to deal with that. And so there are lots of things that come your way that are unexpected, but I'm a survivor. I come from strong, sturdy stock in Louisiana, and a lot of people who are rooting for me and who love me. And of course, this man standing right behind you.
Tim, so you're leaning on this guy quite a bit, I assume.
A lot.
Has he been driving you nuts?
No.
Just a little bit. A little bit. But it's nice you have.
But I always drive him nuts, so it's nothing different. But as you know, he's my biggest supporter, so yeah.
Is there anything you would have done differently looking back?
No, I lived my life with no regrets. And whatever I did, and I own. And so, no, I don't look back, and I don't want to change things in the past. I would love to bring my sister back, but that's not going to happen. You can't change.
All right, so that's what Don Lemon had to say. And essentially, I love the fact that he's taken the high road as it pertains to this. He's not saying he's going to attack CNN. He's not saying, I hate CNN. He's not bringing out all of CNN's secrets. He's not attacking them, essentially. He's taking the high road and saying, hey, look, I've been there for 17 years. I have no regrets about the job. The job was good while it lasted. And even though I don't want this predicament. It's not the predicament that I asked for, nor the one that I want. Essentially, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm going to use this time that I have now usefully and use it to my advantage, and basically not allow it to get to me. And I feel like that is such a mature approach to take. Not only is it a mature approach to take, but it also proves to the world that he's not a bad person. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that anyone has made him out to be a bad person, but once you get fired from a job that you're at for 17 years, people suddenly want to know why, right? And then of course the rumors are circulating that he's misogynistic, he's all these different things, he talks to his coworkers badly, all these different rumors are circulating. And now when you speak to this man, and he's there and he's articulating himself, and he's so professional, and he knows what he's doing, and the way that he's speaking, it just sounds as if he's somebody who's uplifting, and he's direct, straight to the point, and you see him for who he is. All the rumors and stuff tend to dissipate, because it's like, what are you talking about? He seems like a really good person. So I just wished all the best to Don Lemon and everything that he has going on in all his endeavors. Now, the next topic we're going to move on to is Saucy Santana. So Saucy Santana was recently asked about co-hosting Carisha Please, feeling as though, does Carisha Please need a co-host, and would he be open to doing it? And let's listen to what Saucy Santana had to say.
Question. Sorry, shift gears. Did you let Carisha trademark Carisha Please, or you get a cut?
Yeah, I let her have Carisha Please. Initially, when they brought the podcast to her, they wanted me to come on as a host.
Oh.
And I declined it because I feel like with being gay, certain things that we say or do can be misconstrued. So Carisha asks a lot of crazy, wild stuff. She gets down to the business. Coming from a gay boy, it could be misconstrued as messy, or that I violated someone's space, or this is why we don't like gays because they do too much. They're messy. Why would he ask this person that? But coming from a girl, it's funny. It's like, I'm Carisha crazy. She say anything. She asked anything. So I was like, let's So you see, I came in. I did. Me and her did JT. I did Lotto with her. We did a couple of more interviews. Some of them got scrapped, but it's just as easier for a girl, to do that. So I know a lot of people. I get that in my DMs a lot because people be thinking like, that's your friend. You started Carisha Please. How is she taking them out with it? No, they definitely tried.
All right, so that's what Saucy Santana had to say. He said basically he allowed Carisha to trademark Carisha Please, and he was presented with the opportunity to be a co-host, which he declined. Now, first and foremost, I just want to say, don't ever decline an opportunity because of what people are going to say about you. Don't ever, ever, ever do that. I'm disappointed in Saucy Santana a little bit because he allowed what people's perception of him may have been to let him turn down an opportunity that would have been able to probably skyrocket his career to the next level. I feel like people's perception of you should never allow you to reject something. What it is I feel like it's your job to go into a space and prove who you are. So if people feel as though gay people are messy, or gay boys are messy, or gay men are messy, whichever terminology you'd like to use in this situation, because I don't want to offend anyone, I feel like it's now your job to go into that room and prove who you are and say, hey, I'm not a messy person. I'm going to speak, and I'm going to speak honestly, and it's not messy. It's me being me, and it's me being creative, and there's nothing that I'm doing that's different from what Carisha is doing. And also set the tone for that. Create an environment where there isn't technically a double standard. And I tend to disagree with Saucy Santana in a little way, where I feel like gay people actually have what I want to call gay privilege, where they're able to say and do certain things without the scrutiny following behind it, of being canceled, or of being looked down upon, or just being overlooked. Okay, well, that person is just a gay person. And then it's like, because sometimes you're gay and people may say something, this is what goes in with the gay privilege. It ties in with the gay privilege, whereas a gay person can say certain things and then you want to respond and you can't respond, because if you respond, it's gay bashing, it's transphobia, it's all these different things that get attached to it. And then you're now suddenly canceled for attacking somebody who may have attacked you first. So I feel like there is a sense of gay privilege, which I would disagree with Saucy Santana in, that would have benefited him if he was a co-host to Carisha Police. And I feel like he would have been able to bring in an audience, being a gay rapper in the music industry, and he would have been able to bring that audience and show them what it's like to be a gay boy and bring his perspective to a show that is very, very popular. Now, I feel like in terms of the double standard that he speaks of as it pertains to him and Carisha, I feel like there shouldn't be a double standard in terms of whether Carisha says something and whether he says something. I feel like if the truth is being spoken, it shouldn't matter who the messenger is. And I feel like that's what he should have brought to the table when presented with this opportunity. He should have been like, hey, you know what? I'm here and I'm going to speak the truth. And it doesn't matter whether it comes from me or it comes from her. And I feel like that's how he should have looked at the opportunity when the opportunity was presented to him, so that he wouldn't essentially lose out on a bag. But anyway, that's what I had to say about Saucy Santana. Now, I just want to say congrats to Simone Biles. Simone Biles is now married. She is now a married woman. So congrats to her. Another thing I want to bring up is this new Barbie doll that they've made with Down syndrome. I essentially love the idea of making Barbie dolls and making the dollies with all kinds of illnesses, all kinds of ailments and stuff like that, so that children can be reflected, can see a reflection of who they are in their toys. I know that there's a skin disease where the pigmentation of the skin is lighter than the rest of the skin. Seeing dollies like that, seeing this new Down syndrome dolly, I feel like these are good representation of what life is essentially. I remember growing up, there weren't much black dollies. There were always just a white Barbie doll. So seeing black Barbie dolls is like the new thing now. And they're even going a step further to not only address the colorisms that happens with these brands in terms of the dollies and the Barbies, but they're also addressing the different physical sicknesses that occur, and representing that within the brand. And I feel like that is a good thing. Now, I'm going to go a little bit off topic here, off the celebrities for a little bit. This is a couple and they sat down. I got this clip from It's On Site, and they sat down together and they were talking about scents and smells and stuff like that. And I just wanted to let you guys to listen to it so that we can be entertained for a little while. So let's listen to what the wife and the husband had to say.
Be mad when I'm real clean. He will have an attitude. Like, he will take his whole finger in my crack and like swipe up and then smell it and be like, "Oh, it smells like nothing." What the? What you mean? It smells like soap. It smells like soap. Be mad and smell like. Why you smell like soap? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I smell like soap.
No, I just be wanting you to have a little
ting, little thing.
You know what I mean?
Why you want to do that? That's fun for you to be
bit.
disturbed.
All right. So basically, this couple, they were just sitting down together on their podcast. And the lady was saying, hey, like, there's some times where her husband or her boyfriend, I don't know which one he is, but let's call him her husband, would like swipe his hand in her crack. And then when it would smell like soap, he would be turned off like, hey, why am I not smelling why am I not smelling you? Why am I smelling soap? And some people would be like, why wouldn't he want to smell soap? I feel like there's some men out there who they want to smell your own aroma. They want to smell what the female smell like. I feel like every single person has their individual unique smell, and I feel like some men value that. Some men like the natural scents that come from a woman, private parts that comes from a woman. Some men relish in that. I don't personally know why. If you are a man and you're watching this on YouTube, you could post it in the comment section why you like that. But there are some men who are like, no, give me the berries, give me the vanilla, give me the pineapples. That's what I want to smell. And there are some men who value the scent of a natural woman and her aroma. But nonetheless, whatever ballpark you fall on, whatever side of the ballpark you fall on, I just feel like as long as you smell good and you're good, I feel like that's what matters most. Now let's jump into friendships, right? Now this one user, according to It's On Site, Dre Bay says, I love low maintenance friendships. We ain't gotta talk every day, and I might go missing for a month because life whooping my ass, but we good and I still love you. Now, shout out to those people who like low maintenance friendships, and shout out to those people who love high maintenance friendships. And what are low maintenance and high maintenance friendships? Low maintenance friendships is basically when you don't have to do too much to maintain the relationship. You understand that there's the love and the support is going to always be there, whether we speak to each other every day, all day. If we don't speak to each other every day, all day, you know that it's still love. If we speak to each other every day, all day, you know that it's still love. So shout out to whomever, whatever, wherever you fall, whether you like the low maintenance where, okay, I don't have to speak to you, but I love you. We'll hang out. And when we hang out and we see each other, it's like no time lost. But then there's some friendships where I speak to you all day. We do everything together. We grocery shop. we go to the mall, we go to church, we do everything together. There are certain friendships that are like that. Wherever your friendship line falls, I feel like shout out to you. I prefer both. I have a friendship for each. I have my low maintenance friendships where I just see you once in a blue moon, and I have my high maintenance friendships where I want to be around you and I want us to do everything together and I want to be there for you and it be solid as a rock. So wherever you decide to fall, shout out to you, and do what it is that you want to do. And I brought up this because people wanted to like kind of bash people who value low maintenance friendships by perhaps calling them shallow or not having the substance to maintain a relationship. And then other people wanted to bash the high maintenance people, because the people who rather a high maintenance friendship because they felt like that was too much time to be spending with one other person when life is kicking your ass. So I just wanted to bring forth both opinions and say it's okay to have both relationships in your life, and it doesn't matter where you fall, as long as you are able to have a friendship and understand what that friendship is, and have both parties understand whether it's a low maintenance or a high maintenance friendship, and move forward regardless with the person that you're moving forward with in that friendship. As long as you guys are both satisfied, it doesn't matter what other people think. And speaking of friendship, Michelle Obama and actually Oprah Winfrey spoke about friendships on this show that I wanted to play for you guys. So 1 second.
So we're coming to stay with you, graciously hosting us, and you said bring your friends, and I was like, okay. And she's like, how many people? And I said, well, it's like 12. And you're like, what'd you say? You were like, you don't have 12 good friends. I do. I was like, I do. I'm not trying to stack the date. Good friends. I do. And Oprah was like, I got Gail. And what I said was, the only person I know with 12 good friends was Jesus and the disciples. It's the only person I know. But then one of them betrayed him. But then you met my kitchen table. Yes. And you saw that I collect and keep my friends throughout life.
All right, so you hear the First Lady and Oprah Winfrey talking about friendships, and they took a different twist on friendships, and they were talking about the number of friendships that one person can have. You do see those people out there who have perhaps one friendship, right? And I kind of fall on the line of someone who keeps a lower number of friendships, but you have maybe one or two friendships that you hold very close to your heart. You know, Oprah, she has Gail. And then you have some people who have all these different type of friends. They have a friend for brunch. They have a friend for church. They have a friend that they go to the club with. They have a friend for their relationship. They have a friend for hangout. They have a friend for the book club. They have a friend for the gym. They have a friend, and they collect their friends, like Michelle Obama would say. And then they kind of just have them, and they maintain their friendships with the 12 friends that they have. So for me, I feel like it doesn't matter where you fall, whether you're someone who you're of the opinion of someone who, look, I just want one friend, or you're the person who has 12 friends or 20 friends. As long as you are happy in what it is that you're doing in terms of your friendship relationships, and you're not experiencing constant drama, betrayal, backlash, and all of that gossip and all of that, then have fun with your relationships. You know what I mean? If you can have 12 productive friendships, then hell yeah, have 12 productive friendships. But if 6 of those friendships are useless, then at that point you need to start shedding some skin. But if you realize that you have 12 good friendships and 12 good people behind you, then I feel like you're one of God's favorites, and you need to hold on tight to those friendships. But all in all, friendships are very, very essential to us as people. They should be treasured, whether you have a low maintenance friendship, a high maintenance friendship, whether you have one friend or 20 friends. Just see the value in friendship, and what your friendship look like is your business. Now let's get back onto the celebrities. We're gonna be talking Blueface and his mama. Blueface mama ain't here for Blueface and what he has been sitting down in these interviews saying. So let's play it.
When your man or your husband betray you, you get up and you pick up the pieces. But when it's your child that you bent over your whole life backwards for, to try to make a difference from one son to another, for him to turn around and spit in your face about some money or some pussy. Ooh, baby, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing.
You a McDonald's commercial, baby. You ain't a schoolyard crip. You a McDonald's. Look the up, bro. Just Google this, bro. This nigga's a McDonald's commercial kid. This nigga's a child actor, bro. Talking about some mother my mama in some schoolyard, bro. It's not that at all, bro. He didn't have one.
I don't want y'all to be into it with
because
each other.
That ain't right, though. I understand we all flawed, and you nowhere near perfect. I give you that. But I mean, consider how he lived, how he grew up. He was fucking spoiled, man. Like all the way spoiled. Like all the way to where he went. He had a
with your man.
About your relationship with your mom, like, is she happy for y'all? Or?
That lady, I don't have a mom. She's weird. She's strange. I don't know what her motive is, her angle. I don't know what she's trying to accomplish with her outreaches and whatever she does. I really don't care for her. She's not in my best interest. So what can I do with that?
Damn. Yeah. Does it make you like sad that she's not involved or?
Nope. I don't know. I feel much less stressed, much less, microscopic. Somebody like clocking me. So no.
About your relationship.
All right, so basically when Blueface is asked about his relationship with his mom, Blueface says, hey, look, I feel less stressed with my mom around. I don't know what my mom's motives are, so I don't want to really maintain a relationship with her, leading Blueface's mom to feel betrayed, backstabbed by her own child. Now, Blueface's behavior to me has always been an alarming one for me. I feel like he behaves very out of pocket, and his behavior doesn't stem from a place of clicks and views. His behavior stems from this is what's really in his heart, which is what kind of scares me a lot of the times. I feel like as children, we know never disrespect your parents. Yes, you may feel like your parents are overbearing and all of that, but I remember like an incident a couple years back where he literally threw his mother out of the house, his mother and his sister out of the house that they had. And I feel like that's so disrespectful for you to constantly, like, what has your mom done to you for you to treat her like this? And it doesn't matter what your mother has done to you. I feel like there is nothing that a parent who pushed you out, carried you for 9 months, can do to you for you to carry on like this with her and speak so ill about her. I feel like Blueface needs to do a little bit better. And just try to improve the relationship with his mother. They make enough money to go to therapy. They make enough money to do whatever they want. So I feel like try to work on the relationship with your mom. I have this question, like, is it drugs? What is it? Why Blueface is acting like this towards his mom? And he's not the only young man that acts like this towards his mom, especially in the Black community. So it's not the first time I've seen it. It's just something that I just don't like to see happen. But I just wish all the best to Blueface and his mom. Let's jump into the last story for this podcast episode, and it is Designer. Designer is recently charged with an incident for exposing himself on the plane. This is according to the Shade Room. So basically the Shade Room reported that Designer had exposed himself on the plane, and it was due to him experiencing some mental health issues. And this is what Designer had to say. For the past few months, I have not been okay, and I have been struggling to come to terms with what is going on. While overseas for a concert I performed at, I had to be admitted to a hospital. I was not thinking clearly. They gave me meds, and I had to hop on a plane home. I am ashamed of my actions that happened on that plane. I landed back to the States, and I am admitting myself into a facility to help me. I will be canceling all my shows and all my obligations until further notice. Mental health is real, guys. Please pray for me. If you're not feeling like yourself, get help. So shout out to Designer for getting help. And for those of you who don't know who Designer is, he's this artist that sing Panda, Panda, Panda. I got bras in Atlanta, Gucci, all of that. So shout out to Designer for acknowledging that he does have a mental health issue. Exposing yourself is never the right thing to do. But this is the first incident I've heard about Designer exposing himself, which means that his mental health may be on a decline. Again, for the same question that I have for Blueface, I'm having for Designer. Is it drugs? What is going on with these men? Why they are doing these things? But nonetheless, shout out to Designer for taking care of his mental health and for acknowledging that something did indeed go wrong on the plane. Anyway, that was the show, guys. If you have any thoughts and comments, share them down below in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. And I'll talk to you guys later if you're listening through Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Bye, guys.